Got it.
I'm a professional. I'll find a way to get
You'll
through
work your way around it.
I'll work that pole if I have to. Again, I told myself
We
I
know
had
you
to work.
will.
All right, we're live on both, and we're recording in three, two, one.
Welcome everybody once again to the If I Said It, I Meant It podcast.
Bite my tongue for no one. You know they didn't say that last week.
They didn't?
I was very upset.
But you guys kind of flipped the script a little bit.
Well, I didn't flip the script. I couldn't have some amateur in here fucking running
that's
the
true.
show. You know what I mean?
That's true. It was okay. It was okay. I mean, I got to give it to Marco. He did a tolerable job filling in. But I am Kevin Chio coming back, feeling a little bit healthier. Joined as always with my good friend.
Richard Vasquez.
We are coming to you on a Whiskey Wednesday. I missed y'all. I did. I missed everybody.
So, are your herpes good? Your gonorrhea, chlamydia, whatever it is else you got?
The herpes surgery went well.
I didn't even know that it was.
They went in and they removed the herpiness, and so now it's just a matter of a few vitamins to get rid of the gonorrhea, and I will be back at full form.
No sores?
Well, those will always be there. That's
Sores and scars?
AIDS. That turned
I mean,
a little.
they're all bad, I guess.
Yeah. Well, okay. Herpes is pretty bad.
Herpes doesn't go away.
Gonorrhea does, though, I think.
It's still bad.
But you can. It's really bad for a while, but you can get rid of it.
Who died? Was it Al Capone that died of gonorrhea? Or no, he died of chlamydia.
I think so.
No,
And maybe
gonorrhea.
it's,
No,
maybe
it's
it's
gonorrhea.
chlamydia that I'm thinking. One of them that sounds like, oh my god, it's really bad. It's awful. It's actually curable versus.
No, I think they're both curable, but I think.
Well, herpes isn't.
Well, I said both.
Oh. We're talking about a lot of STDs right now, so we might get one or two of them confused.
Yeah, just fucking getting people, just speaking about them.
Just talking about STDs. Speaking of STDs, Rich, how was your weekend?
Uh,
That was a bad
very,
segue.
very safe.
Very safe. Very safe. Good to hear.
Very safe and rubbery, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, okay, so last week I went to work on Monday. I picked up my son from school, and he had this like raspy voice thing going on. I was like, dude, you sound awesome. Like, it's like a cool raspy voice. And he's like, I feel fine, Dad. I was like, oh, okay, cool, no problem. By Tuesday morning, I was like, I got a raspy voice, man. I feel like shit. I'm not going to work. He's like, do I have to go to school? I was like, and
I don't want to take you.
And the thing is, he actually didn't have school. It was like that Thanksgiving break. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
was like, it's up to you, man. I'll take you to school, or you can just chill at home. Like, whatever you want to do. He's like, so normally, when my son is sick, there's a rule in the house. Like, you're not playing video games. You're not watching
It's not
YouTube.
fun, pretty much.
You're not playing with your toys. You can read. You can sit on the couch, watch whatever Dad's watching. But there's really no fun. So
Dad gets to have fun.
it discourages him from faking it, because at that point, every kid's gonna be like, I don't feel good today. I don't feel good Tuesday. I don't feel good Wednesday. I don't feel good
Maybe that's the reason why I go to work sick and leave early, because my mom used to make me go to school.
Yeah.
Go to school even though I was sick, and then be like, you need to be, like, they need to send you home.
Yeah, I need the school nurse to validate that
Yeah.
you're actually sick. So he asked me, he goes, Dad, if you stay home, do I have to go to school? I said, no, I mean, it's up to you. He goes, if I stay home, can I play with toys and stuff? And because there wasn't school, I kind of like lifted the ban, I guess you could say. So I was like, dude,
The Taliban?
not the Taliban, no. We're fighting on the other side now.
Okay. Damn savage.
It was like, dude, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. I don't care.
Just don't bother me right now.
Just don't bother me. He's like, okay, I'll stay home.
Matter of fact, I made a couple of emergency.
So
That's our producer, Rick. in the
our
background.
producer Rick is back as well. But yeah, so he stayed home from school. It was great.
How was your Thanksgiving?
It sucked.
Because you're sick?
Yeah, pretty much. And
Did you get the flu? Like, okay, so like really what'd you get? Like,
I think it was
for everyone
just-
that's listening, he didn't
I
have
didn't have
herpes
gonorrhea or herpes or
or-
chlamydia or anything. It was really just a cold, but I didn't have a fever. I didn't have the normal cold symptoms. I just had a sore throat, which might be herpes. I don't know. And I just was tired. And then a couple of other coworkers this week have been sick. They felt the same symptoms. So whatever's going around in this area, it's like contagion. You just kind of you look at the symptoms and everybody kind of has the same thing. So I ended up spending Thanksgiving in bed, and it sucked. But at the same time, my fiance was like my Uber Eats. She went to.
Did you do any research while you were in
I
bed?
did a fucking ton of research, bro. It's nice.
Any new categories that we should
Oh,
know
all
about?
kinds of. And there's. I like how certain websites now will change like their icons to be festive. Like there was a turkey in the upper right hand corner of my research websites. But yeah, you know, Yvette was my Uber Eats. She went to somebody's house. She'd bring me back a plate. She went to somebody else's house, bring me back a plate. And so I got to watch like 11 hours of football.
Look how Rick just poured that fucking drink for me.
Well, it looks like you're set for a solid segment. So yeah,
Yeah, the heavy hand, Rick.
so I got to stay home. I stayed home from work Tuesday, Wednesday.
Fuck, why don't you pour yourself fucking more than that? What the hell?
Dude, I actually have more than you do.
There is an ice cube in yours.
It's a huge ice.
Can you
Yeah.
put some Sprite in that or no?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were drinking Sprite.
So I stayed home from work Tuesday, Wednesday.
Sorry.
I had everyone had Thursday off unless you have a shitty job or a good job like
Or a shitty
police
relationship.
officer or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I just worked from home on Friday, so
You had to work on Friday?
I did.
Damn.
I'd never take Fridays off. That
Well, I don't take Fridays off either, but we always get the Friday after Thanksgiving off.
Yeah. Some private companies usually do.
Thank you. Well,
Like a bank
a
solid
lot
ban.
of our
vendors are closed, right?
Well, yeah, and
customers are
customers
closed,
are
so
closed.
it's no point. The nice thing about banking is we get some random fucking days off. Thank you, Columbus, and
yeah, you do guys get
Yeah,
some of that.
like
So I remember because
Native
you and
American
Brody and
Day.
who else? Shark. I think
Sharky,
it's
yeah.
you guys always talk shit to us on like Columbus Day or like
Mhm.
President's Day or whatever. But then I always
Oh,
get you guys on the obviously the
Thanksgiving.
day after
Yeah.
Thanksgiving or like
Like Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve, yeah.
But yeah, Christmas Eve, you know, one thing I've noticed though is those days we do work, we can take them off, but there's no point. There's no one in the office, no one's doing anything.
Okay, so that's an argument that I have with not an argument I guess, but a conversation I have with employees.
Is
Okay, so like some people like to take, let's say Christmas is on a Thursday, right?
Mhm.
They want Christmas Day.
Mhm.
So that means Christmas Eve is on Wednesday, and then the day after Christmas is
Mhm.
on Friday, right?
Mhm.
So some people are like, "Oh, I'm just gonna take Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Friday off because let's just finish out that
Right.
week, right?" I like to save my vacation days for meaningful days.
Me
I want
too.
to take the day off that's going to fuck my coworkers over. I don't want to take a day off that's gonna be easy for them. Like the day's already slow. Like what the fuck are they gonna do?
yeah, you literally can show up late, leave early,
Yeah,
take a 2-hour
I'll fucking do
lunch.
that all day.
You know, I save those days. A lot of times we have like compliance things that we have to do for like legal reasons. We have to make sure we're abiding by laws and stuff
Who
like
does
that.
that?
I don't know. Thank you very much, Osama bin Laden. But those are the days where I catch up on those types of things because there's nobody doing anything. Nobody's, you know, our clients aren't there, so we just knock them out and then kick back, relax, and then go home early. It's like, don't waste your vacation day. For
I
that.
don't fucking waste my vacation days for
It's
those
not
at
worth it.
all. Fuck that. I'll go to work. I'll go to work hungover, hating life, and
Yeah,
I'll
it's not
leave in fucking 4 hours.
Exactly. And now, you know, sometimes you can work from home. Certain people have that, you know, luxury. So it's even easier. Like the day after thing, I work from home. So it was pretty nice. How was your Thanksgiving, sir?
It was cool. Went to my grandma's house. We go there every year. It was funny because we have an adult table and then like a kids table, but we have like no fucking kids in our family.
Everybody's grown up now.
Everybody. We have one kid and it's my cousin Ricky's son.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like the youngest one, he's about to be 18 tomorrow or Friday.
Oh, cool. Happy
Friday.
birthday. Shout out to you. Be an adult.
Yeah.
Don't,
Little big Robert, he's like 6'2".
don't go to jail now. Don't, the crimes that you could do like yesterday, you don't do on tomorrow.
He's my white cousin that's like 6'2", fucking like he
He's a
does,
big boy.
Yeah, he doesn't do
Big
pole
boy.
thing. What is it? Hurdles and like you know he could jump high and shit. So he's athletic. Pretty much, he's the opposite.
He's-
of me.
You were very athletic.
Yeah, somewhat. So it was cool. Though. It was a good time. Usually we go to New York, Vegas for the night. Me and my mom or whatever. But we didn't go this year for a couple of reasons. But it was a good time. Went to Joanna's house after that night. It was cool. Got drunk there. She had the kids. She had her 2 stepchildren and then her son.
and
So, like,
Jacks. And
Yeah, they were playing like games. I mean, I don't know, it's kid
It's a family
stuff. I mean,
thing.
I was drinking. I was the fucking drunk uncle or friend in the background, just like, yeah, guys, you guys have a good time.
hey, look at it. Okay, yeah, we'll do some Wii bowling.
No, they don't have any entertainment.
Oh, they don't have.
They were like throwing quarters against a wall,
Oh,
like it was the game. They were playing a game called quarters. I don't know. And the closest quarter to the wall won all the quarters.
oh.
And then the person that won them all at the end was the winner.
Every time I've had to throw quarters, I've had to drink when you don't make it. Yeah,
The shot.
not good at it. But are you a traditional Thanksgiving feast person? Do you
As far as like what food?
the ham and
Yeah,
the,
ham, turkey, mashed potatoes, corn, stuffing. We have yams, or not yams. What is
Sweet
it?
potatoes.
Sweet potatoes.
Mhm.
What else do we have? That's one other thing I can think of. But one thing I want the world to know: we do our fucking Thanksgiving. We were gonna do it at 2:30,
Mhm.
but one of our cousins, Robert, the one that his birthday, he wasn't there yet, so we
Oh.
waited. So we started at 2:50. I was done with Thanksgiving dinner by like 3:15.
Yeah, yeah.
Like 3:15, I was done, full, kind of sitting there like the sun's still out.
Relax for a little while. Maybe go
Well,
round two.
I think my grandma is at the point where she wants to get it over with.
Yeah.
So you can stay there. Like if you wanted to like hang out all night, like she'll
drink with everybody.
She'll drink with
Yeah,
everybody.
oh, yeah.
There's a bunch of beer in the back. Like people are chilling there. But she just I think, and I could be wrong. I've never asked her this, but I think she just wants people to go there first. And then if you have somewhere else to go, she wants to be that family
The first one.
that's
You
fine.
eat
You can
and
move on.
jam if you want to.
So like if I was ever in a relationship, ever, never. D just joined, so maybe D might be down.
To be in a relationship?
Not with me.
Yeah. You have too many limbs.
Yeah. Can't number to death. So yeah, if I was dating somebody and they wanted to come over, like we would be done by like 3:15. We would still have time to
Go
make-
to the oven.
yeah, because normal people eat at fucking 5 or 6 o'clock, right? Like
See,
maybe later.
my family has always done Thanksgiving lunch. We never have
So you're
done
in the same boat as me?
Yeah, we do
Okay.
an early meal.
You guys said you have fried rice, steamed rice.
Steamed rice. So
See, told you. Look at what's up,
this
Lou?
year, this year was the first year that my stepsister, who got married this past year, brought her Indonesian in-laws, and so they made fried rice. They put like hot dogs in it and chicken, and they put a lot of stuff. Very nice family. They're awesome.
Sup, right?
Miss the steamed rice. When I was a kid, we always used to have steamed rice at Thanksgiving, and that's kind of gone away. It's disappointing.
Whose job is it to make the steamed rice?
Oh, it was always my dad's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The one thing we always have, though, it's like the younger generation, me, my stepsister, my fiance, my son, is the green bean casserole. Like
That was
that's
the thing.
that's the thing.
That was
Like,
the thing?
That's the thing. Then you go back once you get your green bean casserole, you sneak back in the kitchen and you grab more of the fried onions and you put more on, and yeah, it's the best. But this is because this year was the first year that my stepsister had been married and the in-laws were coming, and
You allow them to do half the work or whatever.
well, we did a normal traditional turkey stuffing, and
Sup, Beto?
it was good. My dad and his wife, they're really good about every other year something weird comes up at Thanksgiving. So one year we did Thanksgiving breakfast, and it was just like, the breakfast potatoes with cheese and eggs, and then it was like a turkey breakfast casserole, super fucking good.
So you kind of your tradition is no tradition almost.
Yeah, kind of.
Gotcha.
A couple of years ago, we did Dickie's barbecue, or not Dickie's.
I was like, Dickies is like up the street. Oh wait, never mind. We're in Berkeley.
Lucille's barbecue for Thanksgiving. That was fucking good.
That's what Marco said. He hosted this year
And he bought it.
and he bought it. Yeah.
And
he was like, I have something to admit, guys.
a couple of years before that, we did Claim Jumper, but we actually went to claim jumper to eat. I have to admit, it's the years that we have somebody else cater or the years that we go places, they're more relaxed. They're more kind of, I think it's easier for the host to do. It obviously is easier because somebody else is cooking.
Yeah, so I admitted last week that I am the worst. I mean, not just me, all my cousins. Like none of us help. None of us
Yeah.
do anything.
Yeah.
I show up. My grandma, jokingly or not joking, I don't know. I to this day I don't know if she's fucking around with me or not. But I'm gonna say that she is, or that she's doing it lighthearted.
Yeah.
I showed up a little later, so my mom said to be there by 2. I got there like at 2:40, or I'm sorry, like at 2:30. Because when I showed up, that's when they wanted me to eat.
Oh, okay.
So I was supposed to be there at 2 though. But usually, if my mom tells me to be there at 2, I gotta be there at 1 because she just wants us to be early because
You gotta
we're
be
her
there.
kids.
Yeah.
And
Look, my kids are early.
exactly.
Not your shitty.
But I
kids.
showed up a little late. I went golfing and I was kind of tired and
Oh, that's
I
right.
just took a long time to get ready. And my grandma was like, "Yeah, I was just telling everybody like my grandson's always sitting right here watching football. He greets everybody when he walks in because I'm the only person inside while
everybody else is-
while they're cooking or everybody else is outside drinking. And I'm the only person
okay.
inside watching the fucking football games because football's life.
Football's, yeah. I mean,
You know,
it's
especially fantasy football.
and yeah. Okay, so what the hell have you been doing, dude?
What do you mean?
You really okay? So everybody, it's a Wednesday.
Whiskey Wednesday. Whiskey Dick Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's Rick. He doesn't have whiskey dick. We can see it. So I get up, I get dressed, take my son to school.
Do you put your pants on one leg at a time?
I don't. I put both my legs in the pants at the same time.
As you should.
Yeah. Well, and so my driver picks me up. We start heading down, and my phone starts going off, and some text messages start to come through, and so I'm listening to podcasts.
Not our podcast,
Not
apparently.
ours. No, not ours.
How are we supposed to get people to listen to our podcast if you're not even listening?
Well, okay, so first off, I thought the topic last week was going to be Benedict Arnold and traders and people who sell each other out just because somebody's sick, but apparently,
First off, I didn't tell you out.
No,
and
yeah.
people have other people that fill in for them all the time.
yeah, that's true. Anyway,
Continue.
so I get to work and I have a meeting. I go into the meeting room. I have to put my phone on silent. In about 2 hours into my day, I look down and I have 522 text messages.
From who?
Mostly from one thread. Now I had 2 from coworkers. I had to notice I
Were
missed
they
those.
two text messages or
2 text messages. So
500?
text message 1 was from a coworker. Text message 2 was from a different coworker. And then text message 3 through 522
Subjects.
were from one thread. And it's our fantasy football thread. And apparently you are Adolf Hitler.
I know, right?
And that might be a bad analogy.
I
given
would say more
the
probably.
Jewish guy that you're really fucking over.
Yeah, that's probably not a good one, actually.
Well, I mean, you just gassed him on a trade.
Jesus. So, side note, I know this. We'll get back into this, but I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast, and they were talking about costumes you just can't be, and like Hitler's one of them.
I don't know. I think you could.
No, some guy got fired from his job because he went he not to his job, he said, but like for Halloween he was
It
Hitler.
was, and it showed up on social media.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure, and he got fired.
Anyway, but let's see, what would be a better analogy? Some sort of dictator. No, not even a dictator.
I'm sorry, was Hitler not a dictator?
Yeah, but I was thinking someone more like along the lines of
Non-killy.
well, they're all killing.
Well,
Maybe like Kim Jong Un or whatever the fuck his name is.
okay.
Like nobody really knows what he's doing, but like they just know it's bad.
I don't know which dictator you want to be, but
I'm not a dictator though. I have not done anything in our fantasy league.
well, you're kind of a dick.
Yes, and if we
And
decide.
you're shaped like a
So
tater.
last week we talked about what originally started. Yeah, I heard you. Dick.
That was good.
Originally we got upset about, or not we, but like they got upset about was the fact that like I benched my team or whatever. I didn't play the best team possible, which upset Brody, right? So
Oh, we're using names now.
yeah, I don't
Oh,
care.
okay. I didn't know if we were going to actually use his real name.
No, we said it last
It
week.
makes me look real bad when you say the last name Brody, and I just called you Hitler.
Why is that? I
Yes,
thought that was
it's a
Russian.
Jewish- What?
I thought that was the Russian side of him.
It was a
No.
white name.
It's a Jewish name.
Yeah, it's a Jewish name. He's a Russian Jew.
I'm
That's
gonna
not what you know about your friend, bro.
hey, producer, we're gonna need you to fact check some of these things.
So, so for those of you that don't know, what I did was I benched my good players to affect his seating
Yeah.
in the league, and I was already out of it or whatever. But this week
This week has been fun.
has been interesting because I don't know what happened. Honestly, like they could put it on me, but I didn't do anything. I didn't change the trade deadline. I just noticed that it was like way later than normal. So I
Yeah.
brought it up a long time ago, but we didn't do anything about it. Whatever, it is what it is. But now all of a sudden, this morning, there was a trade made by Brody, which I saw with somebody. I don't know if it was with Ryan or somebody, but I know Ryan was in the playoffs. But he traded. He's not in the playoffs anymore. But whatever. I just saw that he was making a trade. So I was like, fuck it. If Brody's gonna make a trade with somebody that's on the playoffs, even though I know it was accepted before Ryan knew he wasn't in the playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm gonna make some trades. Like I'm not. Why should Brody be able to help his team out with somebody that's not in the playoffs, and me not be able to help other people out? You know what I mean? Like,
Right. No. Yeah.
So I made the trades, and now he's upset because those other teams got, I guess, better. I mean, maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I don't know. I feel like the trades were fair, but that's kind of what the story lies is because I'm not in the playoffs and I made trades with somebody.
Okay. So I don't know that I would go so far as to say that they were fair.
They were fair. My trades. You're crazy. I traded with you.
Yeah, I know.
What do you mean? You're one of the persons I traded with.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, I wouldn't say they're so lopsided. I would
I don't
say
even think they're lopsided at all. I think they're within 10% of value.
I would put them right about 10%. But so really, the argument has come up because I think for the first time in maybe half a dozen years, the traditional powers are not having the best years, and
Which is me, Ryan, Robert. Those are the.
you put the names out. I'll just use some vague, ambiguous
Okay,
statements.
okay. So recently you've been in the playoffs and done well the last 2 or 3 years, right? But
Yeah.
I can call you the Michigan Wolverines of fucking fantasy football. You're a good team every year, but you just come up short for
Yeah.
whatever reason, right?
Regularly.
Okay, so Shark has been good a lot of times, and he just got over the hump 2 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Damien's in the playoffs now, so he's like the normal powerhouse, Ohio
he's
State kind of,
I would
you
put
know.
him there.
And then Brody's like fucking CSUF or whatever team that's never ever done
Florida
anything.
State U.
Yeah, but they say they won a national championship last year, but they really didn't do anything.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm just kidding, bro. Yeah, no, your team sucks, so fuck you.
Second, when you win like a when you win like a D2 championship and you call yourself a champion because you went undefeated, but you
I think the
Played Rio Hondo.
the real thing though, I think that is upsetting, not just Brody but like other people is the trade deadline so late.
right.
And I get it. I'm not gonna sit here and say that it should have been 2 or 3 weeks ago. We should have had it at week 10.
Yeah.
It should have been, okay, but it's not. And I brought it to everybody's attention.
I think Damien brought it up. Or
I
somebody
think, I know.
said
I
something.
remember bringing it up. I remember being like,
Okay.
"Hey, I don't know why the trade deadline's so late,
It was brought to the entire league's attention.
and we did nothing about it." So
Yep.
now that we're here, we can't just fucking change it, like, because that's why I asked them. So when are we supposed to change the deadline? So what? November 10th?
Yeah.
All right, then.
Pick a date.
There was like 4 or 5 trades that were made.
So we
in
have
the
to
next
go back
two-
and
yeah,
adjust
and-
all kinds of scores.
And how are we going to guarantee you that you would have played these people or not played
That's a
them?
good point.
There's just so much involved. Like, no, if you want to go and say this week the trade deadline is going to end,
Like cut
then,
it off now.
Then we send it out for vote for everybody. But we're in the middle, and there's some people that don't give a fuck. I'm not going to mention any names, but there's some people that haven't voted.
Yeah.
But
They've been busy producing our show.
until we get 6 votes, in one way or the other, then I'm sorry, like it's not gonna change. Now, granted, I haven't looked at our thread and see where we're at or whatever, but
520. I didn't even know what. I don't even
it's
know what
funny,
happened.
dude. I think
It's
more.
a lot to go back.
And I'm not even adamant about either way. I'm not saying nothing besides just talking shit to Brody. Like really, that's all the text messages are me just talking shit to Brody.
I saw one, like a preview came up as I was walking from one place
Oh,
to
somebody has to
another.
do something.
And like, so I have an Android, you have an iPhone, and apparently on the iPhone there's a way to like when I
something?
say something, you can like it,
Yeah.
dislike it, whatever. Somebody said like dislike this comment, and then said something like, I don't even have an iPhone. I have to type out the text message.
No, they copy it and they paste
They
it.
copied it. Okay,
Yeah.
so they copy and pasted, put disliked, and then like I thought that was hilarious.
It was Damien.
Now, just for the record, I had done that at the beginning of the season. I was like, you know what? Fuck that. Dislike and then copy it, put it on there
Yeah.
because I don't have an iPhone. I don't want an iPhone. But
You should.
whatever the
If
fuck
you
guys
and
are doing.
Damien got iPhones, it would make our life so much easier.
Really, why?
We could rename the thread.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
And if we
that's
wanted
cool.
to leave the thread, we can leave the thread at any point. But I cannot. So like.
Oh no, then no,
so
no,
like
I will
two-
never switch.
So
then.
2 or 3 days ago,
No,
or whatever, like
no.
everyone was getting mad at me for whatever reason,
Yes. No, you're not leaving.
right? And I was like, "Fuck it, I'm out."
Mhm.
Whatever. That's when I sent you all the money.
Mm-mm.
I sent you all the money.
I don't know when I became the fucking treasurer of
You
this
came the
goddamn-
treasurer,
I
and
fucking
then
hate that.
I gave Robert interim fucking league manager
Ugh.
to his commissioner duties.
You've just been like, I think I said like, don't you dare put that evil
Yeah.
on you, Richard Vasquez.
And it's up to date, and any money that's due is
Fucking
in the
hate that.
fucking books.
I hate it.
It's entertaining. I love it, honestly.
I bet
I
you
can't.
do.
You know what I'm more excited about? Seeing Brody. I just want to
Just-
give him a big ol' hug, and just because I know he's so mad at me, I fucking love it. Like my team sucked. I'll admit it, Brody. Look at your team was much better than mine.
Yeah.
You're gonna have more wins than I have losses, and I mean, fuck. Like, what can I say?
It was.
Besides saying that I want to apologize to absolutely fucking nobody.
Mm.
Fuck you guys. I'm gonna take my
Sorry.
Conor McGregor fucking
Yeah.
point of view.
I saw
I
that.
don't feel bad.
You.
Are you drunk, D?
You did. Yeah, I think you and a lot of people got screwed over this year because you obviously took Le'Veon Bell #1 overall. I think a lot of people did,
We're talking about fantasy football, just so you know.
and I think at that point it really.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Like,
I donated $270 to a
Yeah.
pot,
but
and
what's funny to me, what I've noticed, and this is going to take it and make it a broader subject. This is something that's come up because of our friends in our fantasy football league and all that kind of stuff, but it's really indicative of our society in general.
the reason why you can't vote on things correctly.
A month ago, maybe 2, it was brought to everyone's attention. Hey guys, the trade deadline's messed up. No one said anything. No one did anything. No one said, hey, let's set a date right now.
This would be
and
the
have it
perfect time
changed."
for Brody to actually come on our podcast.
Yeah,
As much as he's been like fucking fighting it,
yeah.
I would love for him to come on and give his fucking point, his point of view.
Because the problem is, no one did anything. No one said anything. I knew this was going to come up. I knew it was a problem, but I don't give a shit. Like,
I'm gonna play
Fuck
by the rules. Whatever it is,
fuck
what it
it.
is.
If you want the rules to be week 16 is the cutoff, then I will figure out how to do it. I'll figure out how to make it my best possible scenario or see how I can help me the most. When we started, we did a whole meeting here about what we were going to do, consolation bracket.
Yeah, before we started,
Are we shutting down adding or removing players? A bunch of people said, I don't think somebody who's not in the playoffs should be able to add a
Or
player or trade or whatever it might be.
but
Then
we,
we said,
but we never fucking actually agreed on anything.
right, and I said, listen, if there's a consolation bracket or there's still games, people are gonna bet on that.
Yeah, and then they're talking shit to me about these trades. I don't want to say he's talking shit, but they're just mad that these trades are being made. They want to know what my motive is.
Right.
Right.
And the motive is fuck over the division.
No, honestly, like my motive is just partly get better, partly maybe I am, maybe I'm not. I don't know. Like I'm making these trades. I'm making these trades.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, but I'm going to this consolation bracket that I've already agreed to.
Yep.
That I'm willing to pay money on.
How much is in the consolation?
I think we're
bracket?
paying. I think it's either $50 or $100 a person.
Okay, so here was my next thought about our league, and it's not been brought up, but it is going to be an issue.
What?
Third place, they get their $100 or $200?
$200.
Okay, nobody said anything.
$200. I mean,
you get your entrance fee.
you have money, so you can deal it out. How
I'm
you
saying
want.
200. If anybody has a problem with that, they should listen to our podcast and then vote.
But it's like I'm making these trades, and I'm still putting that team, whatever team that is, on the line for money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm still in it. Like, I'm still fucking here, like gambling my team away. Like trying to at least. I'm still attempting to win.
Are you?
Yeah, I want to. Well, last week's a different story because we're not playing for money.
You tanked.
Had somebody said I'll fucking play you for $100,
It would have changed.
it would have changed.
You would have put probably not Ryan.
I get it. It's not the most ethical thing,
Oh, but here's the deal. Okay, so
but it's my money.
you said a word, ethical, and we're playing a fantasy football. And if you were here for our draft, the banner, the slogan is that we've been doing this for 10 years, and for 10 years we have been managing imaginary teams, fake teams of real players, okay? What is the ethics behind tanking for a reason? Pros do it. Pros, and I specifically remember a year where the Bears and the Packers were both head-to-head going for the division title. They were both going to make playoffs. The difference was that the Bears had nothing to play for. But if they won, they would keep the Packers out of the playoffs. Okay? And it was like game 16 of the season. So if the Bears won, they would knock the Packers out. If they lost, the Packers would make the playoffs. Okay? Seeding was set for the Bears. They were going to have home field. They had zero.
Was this 2005?
It may have been.
When they went to the Super Bowl?
The Bears?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Because at the end of the story is the NFC Championship went through Soldier Field and the Packers beat them. It was.
Oh, so it's a year. You
the
got
year
the
we
Super
won,
Bowl.
yeah. Which was, oh shit, that's going to be hard to remember.
Hey Wendy, I know you're on. Just type. I want to know how your team's doing.
Yeah, let us know. So.
What's up, Cuzzo?
Really, the Bears had nothing. There was really
Nothing
no
to gain,
benefit.
nothing to lose.
They had nothing to gain.
I didn't want my
nothing to-
fantasy players to get hurt. Okay.
But they played their starters all 4 quarters, week 6 for nothing, just to keep the Packers out. Could you say that was unethical? Well, you're trying to knock a team out for no reason. You're risking your players.
Well,
You're risking the health and safety of your team for no gain except a vindictive keep one team out. Is that ethical? I mean, you really have nothing to gain from it. You're risking the health and safety of your players for no reason.
Yeah. Well, I was also saying that like when a baseball team decides to shut down a player for the last month of the series or whatever,
Right.
or the season because they don't want
And
whatever.
fake an injury for it.
Yeah, they're just like, we don't need you to fucking play the rest of the year or whatever. Look I get it, whatever. I fucking did what I did. I'm gonna have to live with it for the rest of my life. If they want to put me in the same category as fucking, I don't even know, people that.
What was that guy that joined the league and never paid and jammed? Is his name Nick?
No,
What
what was his name?
The guy you brought in.
Yeah, shut up.
Okay.
I don't remember his name.
Fuck, what was his name?
Josh? No,
Nick.
no, it wasn't Nick.
Sure it wasn't Nick?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Thought it was Nick.
Anyway, so we'll see. We'll see what happens tonight. We'll see fucking.
Here's what I think.
You know what I'm more interested in? I'm sorry, let me interrupt. You know what I'm more interested in is, so everyone's like, oh, you know who you would have started. Your starting lineup wasn't good enough. Hold on. Like, you should have started, how are we going to implement who I should start? That's what I want to know. I'm more interested in that.
And that's where I was going with what I was going to say is that my point, my argument, and I made this on the thread, but nobody seemed to give a shit what I thought, which really in our league, no one gives a shit what anybody else thinks unless they agree with you. It's your team. Put whoever the fuck you want on there. I'm not paying your league fees. If I was paying your league fees, I would have something to say about it. I would say, Rich, no, fuck that.
Because you have a vested interest.
Perfect word. Word. This is like I've made the correlation. This is like free market. You do whatever the fuck you want because you're responsible for you. In today's society, in this whole like, I do what I want to, don't judge me, I live my own life,
There's two genders.
mentality.
Or more than two genders.
However you want to look at that aspect of it. All of a sudden, you get into our fantasy football league, and it's like, oh no, you can't do what you want with your own business.
Well, I
with
really
your
think
brand.
whether Brody wants to admit it or not, it didn't benefit him, so
Mhm.
therefore it was a problem.
You were the scapegoat for him because
Maybe
what was his record?
I want him to come on. I want him to fucking
His record's what, 9-3.
yeah. He's
Got a great record.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, if he would have won one more game, it wouldn't have mattered, right?
True.
Okay. So
I wouldn't have mattered.
you wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
What you did wouldn't have mattered. But
I might not have done it at that point. I don't know.
like society, like today's society, not we. Let me back up. I apologize. Didn't mean to throw you in this category.
I could be in it.
You might. I don't think so though, because I know you, and I'm being serious.
Okay.
In today's society, many people look for someone else to blame for their own choices, their own situation. And our fantasy football league is showing
I
that.
fucking drafted Le'Veon Bell.
I
My
know.
mother. I should have had Gurley.
Fuck him.
But okay, I want to go on a rant real quick.
Okay.
I want to
The
switch
floor
gears.
is yours, sir.
Okay.
Is it about fantasy football?
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Did you have anything else you wanted?
A little bit.
Okay, go ahead. I'll let you. I want to make sure because you said something.
Okay, you want to write it down?
No, I remember.
Okay.
I remember.
All I want to say is that your league, your team, your choices, yours. You answer to you.
I'm pro-choice.
To nobody else. What I do with my team, what I do with my players, what I do with that's my business. If you handle your own shit, if you handle your own business, none of this fucking matters. You could be 13-0, and Richard could sell all of his players, and it's not gonna fucking matter. But because you don't hold your own business, you don't take care of your own shit, all of a sudden,
I
it matters.
didn't drop people just to drop people because
No,
I
you
could have.
didn't. No, yeah.
I could have dropped all the players that I had on my roster just to be a dick,
Mhm.
and because I looked at the waiver wire,
Yeah, I was up there. I
And-
think there was like one person ahead of me.
but I saw where Brody was at, so I could just drop enough players to where
Mhm.
Brody wouldn't get. But I didn't do all that. I mean, I get it. What I did was already bad, but I could have done a lot worse, and then I for sure would have been kicked out.
I don't think it was that bad. I just think that people are looking to point the finger at somebody else and blame them, or come up with their safety net. Ah, man, I got bounced out of the playoffs after winning, let's say, 2 games, and I didn't win the championship because Richard did this a month ago.
Yeah, and I hope that happens.
We'll see.
Okay,
Sir,
my
the
rant.
floor is yours.
So, I'm not saying that the city does not mail you or send you any kind of literature on this kind of stuff. When they fucking put a stop sign in an area that has not had a stop sign in its fucking block my whole life, probably longer than that, it really upsets me. They put a stop sign at my grandma's house on the corner of Nan and whatever that fucking street is. I don't even know
Don't
what it's
say it
called.
because we
Locker
get
Lane.
it. What was that, producer Rick?
Locker Lane.
Lockeling.
Lockery. Oh, I
They-
used to live on Lockery.
They fucking put a stop sign there and I ran that shit because I didn't know there was a stop sign there because they haven't had one my whole life and it fucking pissed me off. And I'm like,
Did you get a ticket?
no, there's
Okay,
no cops
thanks.
there.
I
No.
run it every day.
You run it every day?
I run it every day.
Every day,
Something.
dude. I drove by and I was like, why didn't anybody tell me they fucking put a stop sign here? I was so mad. It reminded me when they put the stop sign right there on fucking Passons and, is it Danbridge?
Yeah.
I
by
fuck,
by Rivera Middle School?
yes.
Yeah, that
I
was
fucking,
stupid.
I fucking ran that
No,
shit
I
100
was
times.
there, dude, because there's a lot of kids across there.
No, I'm not saying hit him.
There's lots of-
I'm not saying that it's not, like there's not a reason behind it.
Right.
All I'm saying is like let a motherfucker know.
Mm.
Like,
Now,
You know what? It actually did come out in the February.
You're probably right. That's why I'm saying it probably was there's probably some literature out there saying that there was fucking a stop sign being put up. But it pissed me off because I fucking was driving and I'm looking for parking. For whatever reason, my grandma's block was hot because everyone's fucking. It's never like that. And I fucking was driving and all of a sudden I was like, I stopped 20 feet too late because I already had stopped past the stop sign. And I was like, I look crazier than fucking just running it.
Normally, they will actually put signs that say new traffic pattern or new. There's a phrase that they use.
Maybe there is.
He
I
might
didn't see it.
have, but he never goes to his grandma's house that much.
Hey,
That's
bro.
true. Yeah, if it.
Don't say that, all right?
Hey, that's my
I love you, Grandma.
How, like, if that's been there for 6 months, they may have had it there, like, for a full month. Nobody really knows.
My grandma said they just put it up a couple weeks
They
ago.
just put it up like maybe 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, she said they just put it up like a couple weeks
By
ago.
your parents' pad?
Yeah, well, my grandma lives up the street from me.
Three.
Oh, that's right. That's where we get picked up for
For the
turnarounds.
turnarounds.
It's on Nan?
Yeah,
Oh, at the
corner.
That's okay. All right, now I know where you're talking about.
Yeah. I was mad, dude.
Yeah,
I was
that was
so
good.
mad. I'm sorry, I just had to rant about that because I fucking ran. I felt bad because I try not to break the law. I
Yeah.
try not to. What?
There's
Oh.
super traffic going on to Nan because that's like a major hotspot to go over to Rivera. People don't let people in from Lockeling.
Oh.
So now
You have the right to get in.
People can go in and.
I'm not saying there wasn't a reason behind it.
Right,
All
right,
I'm
right.
saying is let a motherfucker know because that shit was upsetting. But I get it. I don't live in Pico anymore.
It almost matches on the other side of Nan when you go on, and I know you guys probably don't. I do to get to Yvette's house when you're coming on Washington and you turn before it's the street before you get to Passons. You make a left. It's just
Hasty.
off of. Is it Hasty? It is Hasty. You come to that T and there's a stop there, right?
No.
Okay, then we're talking about two different places. Then.
No. Oh, you said going from the 605?
You come from coming over Washington. You go over the riverbed. You make a left on the last place you can make a left before you hit Passons.
Hasty.
Hasty. Okay.
All the way down?
All the way down. You hit a stop sign.
Oh, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. So it's like
I don't stop there either.
I don't stop. I never stop there.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm California stopping those motherfuckers anyway.
No,
But
Yeah, I
nobody
will.
stops there. I go there
But
every morning.
still.
Nobody stops there.
I roll through that bitch. One place that I think the city of Pico Rivera does need to change their stop sign, and I understand why they did it. It is a safety issue.
the lights.
Northbound on Passons when you get to Washington, you can't make. It's got no right turn on red.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't like that either.
It makes sense during school hours because kids cross there and you could hit them. But that's when you put one of those plaques that says like no right turn on red Monday
Kids
through
can only
Friday.
cross when it turns green, and you can only turn when it turns green.
No.
So that makes no sense.
That is true actually.
Makes no sense.
Producer Rick brings up, if you can't hear it, pedestrians can only cross heading north on Passons, crossing Washington.
Somebody goes out Gordo.
They can only cross on a green, and
I've had this
because you
argument
can't
before.
make a right turn on red, you can only go on a green. So there's really no safety behind it. But what sucks is that at 1:30 in the morning on a Tuesday when there are 0 people walking,
It won't turn green for you.
it won't turn green. And you sit there.
You gotta go through
You gotta wait for the
Big
cops to
Saver
get
parking
there.
It fucking
lot. You
sucks.
have to go through the Big Saver parking lot like a normal person.
Oh, is that what I need? I need to just cut through the parking lot?
Or the street before.
That's usually what I do.
Yeah.
Oh, if I was on that street before, you better believe I would be at City Hall every fucking day going, no, you guys gotta change that.
I was upset.
People are
dude.
coming by, people are cutting through. Now my street is busier. You gotta change it. Or you gotta put speed bump, or you gotta
It
change it.
doesn't make sense.
It does not.
The only reason it would make sense is if it was a blind spot to the left, but
Mhm.
it's not. There's no blind spot.
I don't know if you guys
to
can
the
hear
left.
what Rick's saying, but
I can understand having a no turn on red there during school hours.
No, it doesn't make sense.
During school hours to protect kids for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying, Rick. It doesn't make sense because you can only cross on the green. I get it.
When they can walk.
I get it. I get it. But that would justify it if there were hours because of kids or whatever it might be. But it doesn't. Do you want to know the biggest amount of bullshit that the city has done. So my dad lives in Whittier. Mine's on the other side of the 605. Put a fucking traffic circle in. A fucking traffic circle.
I
Where
actually
there-
like those things, but,
Yeah, okay, so Rick likes traffic circles. I like traffic circles too. I like big ones. There's one in Palm Springs. You leave it when you go into Stagecoach.
Oh, like a big circle? Like the Long Beach one?
traffic circle, dude. So
And the
you're
Long
able to
Beach
get
one.
Out, get out when you want.
I like the Long Beach one. I like them. They're not that bad. I can understand how they're confusing. This is a one fucking lane street. One lane this way, one lane opposite, and it's at an intersection that crosses. Why the fuck do you, and here's the best part. Every entrance, there's four, because it's two streets that cross. Every entrance has a yield sign.
Yeah.
So
That's weird.
in all legal essence, no one has the right of way.
Yeah.
You get there, and really, legally, you should all just stop and never leave the fucking traffic circle of death. How the fuck do you put a traffic circle in the middle of a residential street? And it's not 5 streets, it's not 4, it's not even 3. It's a standard 2-street intersection. You put a fucking traffic circle.
It'd be easier
But
they
you
just
get
put
how it
stop
stops
signs.
everybody though, right? You get how it stops everybody.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, so that's actually the point. It slows
It-
everybody down.
It does slow everyone down.
I love the fact.
So does a signal or a
Right,
stop
yeah,
sign.
I love the fact that like, okay, so you guys understand, you know, Kevin gets here 6:30 usually. We go over what we're gonna talk about, not maybe in detail, but just kind of like ideas. I didn't tell him about this, and the fact that he's so upset and so passionate about this,
I am.
it makes me feel so
heated.
much better.
I
I'm
am
not gonna lie, because I was
heated
upset
right
about that stop sign. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was fucking mad.
Dude.
Plus I felt bad because I ran it and I was like so like I fucking skidded and.
Okay, so
Rick
Rick drives by that place all the time. Rick, when did you
Every day.
realize there was a
Every
stop
day.
sign there? And then you
So
look back
they
and you
didn't
go,
put it- They didn't put it up. My mom told me.
oh, okay, see.
Like, hey, did you see the new stop sign? I was like, yeah, I skidded. What the
Yeah.
fuck is this?
Who the fuck
And,
decided
and
to
then
put
I
this
stopped
on?
4 houses down. But yeah, it was
Yeah, it's
4 houses down.
It was,
No bueno,
it was,
no
it was
bueno.
crazy, man. Like, cause I never expected it to be there. But I think that it actually makes sense there.
No, I'm not saying that it's not like there's anything wrong with it. Like on your end, you're upset about the type of fucking intersection that they put up or whatever. But
So if anybody wants to know, it's on Mines and Gretna in Whittier. Okay, does that look like this busy intersection where people can't figure out
How
on
to
a
cross?
fucking stop sign?
maybe they wanted to be grand.
Is
They wanted to be like
Is it what, residential?
It's a resident, there's houses everywhere.
Oh, wow.
Oh, look, we might do a remote in the middle of the fucking
so
traffic
they could
circle
drive around
right
us.
just so people could drive around us. This is how stupid this is. Look it up. It is, you can see. It's got a fucking traffic circle. And when you get there, and y'all, I hope you go by there, every entrance says yield. You know when you want to punch an engineer in the face? Like, whoever figured that out. And they get paid well because they're a government employee. Whoever decided to fucking put that there, really, honestly, needs to be executed. Which leads me into my next story, sir.
All right, let's take a break. Let's take a break. Let's calm down.
I do need
and
to
we
take
gotta
a quick
pause
one.
that because if we don't, it'll fucking.
I do need
die.
to take a quick
So we'll be right back.
come back.
This is an execution story. let me pause that real quick.